All right. I can only blame Rush Hour for giving me this mindset because for half of this movie, at least for when Godzilla was fucking shit up in the city, all I could think about was that scene in Rush Hour 2 where Carter and Lee are on the plane and Lee's talking about Asians, we always keep our cool, never panic. Carter's just like, yeah, right. When Godzilla coming, y'all be tripping. I seen the movie. Y'all be Gayaka, Gayaka. And that's literally all I can think about when Godzilla was tearing up that city. I just wanted to completely yell in that theater, Gayaka, Gayaka!
Yeah, right. When Godzilla's coming, y'all be tripping. I seen the movie. You be Gayaka, Gayaka!
Because that's really what it was. It was crazy. They was going crazy. They was tripping, just like Carter said. So thank you, Rush Hour 2, for that legendary moment. That'll always be so funny for me. But nonetheless, as funny as Rush Hour made that, situation, this is not only one of the best Godzilla movies I've ever seen, but this is probably the best Godzilla movie ever made. Let's just... Oh, and Americans, Hollywood, take notes. Because this movie only cost $115 million. The Godzilla that came out in 2014 cost $160. And I only got to see Godzilla for 20 minutes in that film. I will never forget the big waste of time that movie was, but I can go on more of a rant later in this review. But just take notes, because what the heck? But regardless, this is Godzilla Minus One. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review for Godzilla Minus One, and I'm not going to try to attempt the actors and actresses' names because I don't necessarily want to make an ass of myself. I have attempted, foreign names in the past, but I looking at this cast, I really just don't even want to try it. But I do know it was directed by Takashi Yamazaki, so that's as best as I can do for you. And our plot, without really going into major details of the story itself, because I don't want to spoil anything. So basically a legit overview of the plot is basically Japan is getting over a war that literally just happened, and basically during their recovery process of that, they have a brand new prehistoric dinosaur sea monster threat by the form and name of Godzilla that comes and just messes everything up, and basically Japan and these sailors need to form together or come together to find a way to stop Godzilla once and for all. Like, that's basically the gist of a lot of Godzilla movies, except for most of the King of the Monster and Godzilla vs. Kong movies, but that's basically the gist of all Godzilla movies, so that's all the plot we really need. But look, like I said, this movie was from beginning to end, hands down, one of the best Godzilla movies I've ever seen. I mean, one thing I absolutely loved about this movie was not only how Godzilla was handled as far as how many appearances he had on screen, but I loved the impact that Godzilla had on the people in this film, especially our main character. The main character in this film is going through so much, and he is literally haunted by Godzilla and what happened to him in the beginning of this film, and it literally just plays out through the entirety of the rest of the film, and it plays out so beautifully. I was a big fan of the story itself, and like I said, Godzilla has a lot of appearances in this movie and has a lot of opportunities to just absolutely fuck shit up, and it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I loved how in the beginning of the film he was not that big, and then he gets progressively bigger throughout the film, and it just becomes more and more like in the back of your head you're trying to figure out, okay, the bigger this thing gets, how is anybody going to stand up to Godzilla? How is anybody going to take Godzilla down? How are we supposed to do anything with Godzilla whatsoever? And look, guys, this movie is just a freaking blast. This movie is a lot of fun. This movie is literally what Godzilla movies are made for. This is what monster movies are supposed to be. This movie really, really, really had me so pissed at that 2014 Godzilla movie where we really just had to be mad at Aaron Taylor Johnson and Bryan Cranston the entire time, because we're like, where's Godzilla? We love you guys, but where is Godzilla? And he only showed up for 20 minutes, and that was just one of the biggest disappointments ever. Now, King of the Monsters, I am more of a fan of that film, but I more so just like the monster stuff in that movie. The narrative is kind of blah, And Godzilla versus Kong, I think, is just a big Hollywood blockbuster mess, but, whatever, I'll leave that film alone. But as far as Godzilla Minus One, like I said, the story is absolutely phenomenal. I really found myself rooting for this character. I will say, although this is probably a very common criticism with foreign films, especially Japanese films. The acting is very over dramatic at times, but I think seeing Old Boy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think they really needed to go to them lengths to act some of that stuff off. But I think there's a lot of over dramatic acting going on in this film here. It didn't necessarily bother me too much. It took me out of the film just a little bit, but at the same time, you're not really here for the story itself. I think the story being something that's so emotionally heavy in the film is just kind of a plus in the film, because you're really here for Godzilla, and they deliver that wholeheartedly. They give you exactly what you want out of a Godzilla film. They give you exactly what you want out of this Godzilla creature, and it completely blew my mind how this film only cost $15 million and Godzilla looked amazing. I mean, Godzilla was tearing stuff up. Now, a lot of this movie probably takes place in the sea, and then he gets the opportunity to go into the town and mess stuff up, but on land or in the water, Godzilla was just absolutely awesome. I loved his power display. I loved how they revealed it one appearance at a time, how he got more and more powerful, his regeneration abilities. They really did a great job at making Godzilla just a very terrifying character in this film. And like I said, on top of that, I just loved how Godzilla played a factor in terrorizing these people long after he left and before he comes back again. The scenes you get in between Godzilla showing up are very terrifying to an extent, to the fact that you're just really dealing with people not really knowing how to honestly move on, because they know at some point this thing is coming back. And on top of that, you with the main character himself, he's really dealing with the war that happened before Godzilla showed up, and something that happened in his past. He's trying to get over a traumatic experience with that, and then finding this young girl and a baby that he didn't even want, and then trying to find how to take care of them to an extent, or how to honestly love them. And he's really dealing with a lot, and I just love how they really all these characters in the film that actually dealt with the war itself. They really highlight the fact that the war never left the main character. The main character's war has been going on ever since he first saw Godzilla, ever since, it was going on ever since the war started. And then, honestly, after he saw Godzilla, his war just never ended from there until he could actually kill this thing. They just do such a great job in this film making Godzilla just freaking awesome. They make him such an incredible character. They give him such a great impact on the rest of these characters, and it just comes all together to make it a completely fantastic film experience that I really thoroughly, absolutely enjoyed. I had a blast in this theater watching this. I really wish I would have got to see this movie in IMAX or 4DX, because I know it would have just completely blew me away even more. I probably do need to do so, but honestly, guys, for a Godzilla movie, I really have no complaints here. Like I said, this is the best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. I think this is hands down the best Godzilla movie ever made. Godzilla is treated with so much care, so much they just know what to do with this character. They just know what the Japanese know what to do with these kind of movies. They know what to do with this character, and they know Godzilla better than us. It's very proven in this film. I just don't. Oh God, and we have another Godzilla movie coming out next year. It's a Godzilla Kong movie. I would honestly rather see that in the hands of this studio and these directors here, but nope, we have to Americanize everything, so we have to deal with that. But look, as far as I'm concerned, guys, there's really nothing I didn't like about this film. The only minor criticism I have is there were just some scenes that were kind of overacted, but honestly, due to the PTSD that this character was going through, I kind of get it. I kind of understand why he had to over-deliver so much. So I mean, I'm not really going to complain too much about it because, like I said, the story being as good as it was really just a plus. I didn't expect the story to be so good. Like I was really thrown off about how actually emotionally attached I was getting to the story itself in a Godzilla film. I mean, that just goes to show how much they care about actually giving you a decent, not only monster film, but a film in general. So kudos to everyone on the cast and crew that worked on this film, especially all the actors. I really wish I could shout them all out. The main character in the film, the guy, he's amazing. The girl actress is very good too. Honestly, the supporting cast, they're all very good. Everybody really does a great job in this film, and it's just really a fun ass time at the movies. And for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give Godzilla Minus One a 3.75 out of 5 stars. All right, so Godzilla Minus One, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.